Welcome to the Cyber Sangha podcast. Cyber Sangha is a program of free live broadcasts, launched in 2009 by renowned teacher and author Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. Join us as we draw on ancient Tibetan wisdom to discover how to connect with our best self and live to our highest potential. The following teaching, Realizing Your Full Potential, Ripening the Conditions of Speech, was given by Rinpoche on October 8th, 2025, as part of a year-long series, Bring Body, Speech, and Mind to Life. This content is for informational purposes only. Listeners should consult medical professionals for any physical or mental health concerns. Please use headphones and do not meditate while driving or operating machinery.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy to be spending this time this morning with all of you. So I would like to start this morning with the practice. So this is, as you all know, ripening our speech, connecting with our potentiality, or connecting with our potentiality through the speech by ripening it. So that's the idea. And but the practice is practice of silence. And so I would like to begin guiding a short meditation first, and then speak a little bit. So please see this moment as a precious moment, a moment, a gift for oneself to be alone, be silent, be quiet. Whatever or wherever you are, whatever you're doing for this moment, just completely stop and find a comfortable place, a peaceful place, a room, corner. Bring your full attention to this present moment at your place, in your body. And be aware of whatever discomfort, effort that you feel in your body, mind. Be aware of them and breathe out very deep. Slow, long. End of the exhalation, rest. So we do like a 4 second of inhalation, about 6 seconds of exhalation, deep, slow from belly or heart, and release whatever, any discomfort, any effort of this moment that you're feeling in your life. Just breathe them out. Let's repeat that a few times. Be aware of, as you exhale, it's clearing like the dead wind. Toxics are released and cleared. And end of the exhalation, feel this deep entry into deep restfulness. And gradually through that restfulness, feel the silence. And particularly those of you who have used your speech a lot, just generally liking to talk a lot, discuss a lot, argue a lot, judge a lot, all this exhaustion of your speech. Be aware of them in your body, in your throat. As you exhale deep, and particularly exhale this negative energy, toxics from your throat chakra, with awareness of all this effort of speech, particularly negative speech, harmful speech. Release them, and in the end of the exhalation, find deeper, restful silence place. Continue with this cycle of breathing, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out, rest in exhalation, feeling that you're releasing toxics of effort, exhaustion, and particularly all these argument, noises, discussions, and entry into the silence, peace, where you're not draining yourself, where you're not constantly fighting, defending, peace, where you're feeling safe, restful, healing. Continue, rest deeper, deeper, deeper. Not only rest from the outer noises or your own inner noises, but rest into a deeper silence, a silence of your true being. Continue with the breath. Okay, so gradually you can open your eye. Just feel a deep sense of grounded in your body, connection to inner silence. Okay. So in our life, you know, in the teaching and generally, we talk about three doors: the door of the body, door of the speech, door of the mind. We say gosum, and these door, it's referring to door because they are entrance to ourself, or they are entrance to enlightenment. And it's for practitioner, it is a door to yourself and to enlightened qualities. But when we are not strong enough, they become not entrance, they become exit. So when we lose ourselves through our body. We lose the connection to our body, we lose the balances in our body, our addictions in our body becomes more pervasive, or we lose ourselves through our speech. Uh, we, every uh, imagine like every war, every argument, every separation, every divorce basically happens basis on people's speech. It's a very dangerous. When you don't know how to talk, it's very dangerous. That's what they call diplomatic, uh, but nowadays, even if it's very diplomatic, it's very difficult, right? So our mind also, if we can drive ourselves totally crazy with the strangest thoughts and strongest emotions that we feel we don't know how to handle them, and we exit ourselves through that. How many people suicide? How many people loses their decency? How many people hurt each other? Um, all these things happens because just lack of able to handle our own existence of body, speech, and mind. So today is particularly talking about the speech. It's very interesting speech. I always find it very interesting. We all talk. I'm talking right now. How often we talk what we wanted to talk, how often we talk what we don't wanted to talk, how often we say something we wish we did not say that. Throughout the day, so many moments you feel like, oh, I wish I was more gentle. I wish I was more kinder. I wish I choose different words. I wish I did not use the same words like what I did a week ago. I wish I did not make this person uncomfortable. I wish I did not hurt this person where I spoke. Even any relationship with strangers, with loved ones, even when you write a little something, whatever you're expressing to anybody, there's always a choices of words that you can choose. And you can feel it. I mean, I'm trying to be very aware of that. I can feel it. I have a tendency to choose certain word, then I'm aware of, oh, these words are not the best word to choose. I can see I have tendency to choose these kind of words and tendency to express this particular way. And I recognize that. And at that very moment, I change the choices of words. I change choices of expression of those words. The sentence, I choose the different sentence. For example, how often we tend to say, you're trying to help someone, you help someone, or you wanted to help someone, or somebody asked you to help someone, or you are helping someone. How often people say, before doing anything, they would go long story about how difficult it is, how challenging it is, how much you don't like to do it, how much you go into all those stories. Then you're trying to do what you just told, what you just said, how much you hate to do something, and then you said, now I'll do it for you. Well, you have to say that. There's a two choice. Clearly, there's a two choice. Not to do it. I recommend that. Not to do what you don't want to do. Or maybe you really don't want it to do, but you have promised to do. You wanted to keep your promise. Okay, that's fine. So then do it. But you don't have to go this long story about how much you hate doing this or how much you're trying to do favor for somebody. You don't have to go through all those stories. But we do that. Many people do that. Why you do that? The person who is hearing did not enjoy hearing that. Person who is hearing that will have less appreciation of what you are doing to that person because of your long story before. So we have a problem with the silence when we don't talk because we are suppressing it. We are suppressing our thoughts, emotions, our feelings, our ideas, our expressions. When we talk, we're explosive. It's dangerous. Suppressed people, when they express, is very dangerous. So how you find a balance between not talking and talking? That's the whole key, I think, is the whole point. Just recently, what I shared a little reflection of the day, I said something like, silence is not only absence of noise. Rather, it is a presence of awareness. In silence, we find ourselves and our true voice. And that's very much, that is how it is. Right this very moment, I'm speaking, I have a choice. Be fully aware of my inner silence, stay connected with it, hear it, feel it, be in it, and speak from that silence. My sound, my words, my expressions does not have to interfere my awareness of my inner silence. That's called integration into the nature of mind in Dzogchen teachings. When I'm not able to do that, or when I'm not even trying to do that, then I have a choice not to say anything. Just totally be quiet. Maybe for me, it's difficult to speak and be silent. So I can be only one, speak or silence. Both is difficult, so I choose to remain silent. Because I feel the silence I can enter in my inner peace better than when I'm speaking. Because when I'm speaking, I feel the disconnected to my inner silence. But it doesn't have to be like that. So as in the teaching of Dzogchen, as in the teaching, any teaching, I think people talk about silence in every tradition. People talk about silence. I think it's really important to understand there's a key point there. Just staying quiet doesn't help much unless you're quiet in a with specific awareness. Like people who have, imagine someone in your life, some people, there are a lot of people They don't talk much. They don't express their love. They don't express their frustration. They don't express their anger. They don't express, period. Very sad to have a relationship with the people who don't express their feelings. It's hard to have a relationship with the people like that. It's also hard to have people who expresses everything. There's no container. It doesn't contain anything. There's no filter. There's no moment of hold. That's also hard. So so this question about when you know people like that who suppresses their voice, their speech, do you think they're practicing silence? They're not talking, but can it be called practice of silence? No. Practice of silence is a joy, and these people are suffering. Practice of silence is fun. These people are feeling uncomfortable. Practice of silence is lively. These people are dying. Practice of silence is luminous, and these people are feeling dark and down. Just not saying anything doesn't mean the practice of silence. So awareness of silence, the word awareness of silence, in Tibetan word, we say jume ishe, judme ishe. Wisdom of silence or awareness of silence. I'm aware of my silence. If there is awareness of silence, or if there is awareness, then there is no suppression of emotions. Because awareness can never arise in suppressed thoughts and emotions. Because when you suppress, when you're suppressing your thoughts and emotions, suppression, it doesn't allow wisdom to arise, a knowledge to arise, a creativity to arise, a voice to arise. It doesn't allow it. So it remains a voiceless, energyless, awarenessless, joyless silence. And that is not a practice of silence. So it's, for example, this very moment, if I would say like, if you, I mean, we have like all of you who are listening this very moment, or listening not by accident, you go through the Facebook, you just happen to say, oh, who's this guy talking? You know, not like that, but just who's listening, who's participating with me in my Facebook, who's here, particularly made time to listen to this. So I'm talking to those people. If you're listening, you're not talking, you're listening. I'm the one who's talking about this moment. You're not talking, you're silent, but you're not necessarily, you're aware of silence. Now, I encourage you to be aware of your silence, to feel your silence. You see? Big difference. A second ago, you were in silence, but you are not aware of silence. Now, you are aware of silence. The differences between awareness of silence and not awareness of the silence is big. They say, in Tibetan, they say, Tetok, Matok, Shebarche. Knowing and not knowing makes the whole differences. Knowing yourself and not knowing yourself makes whole differences. Knowing the truth and not knowing the truth makes whole differences. Being aware of the silence, not being aware of the silence makes whole differences. Now you are aware of the silence. As I went speaking few minutes more, maybe you already lost the awareness of the silence. You see, it's easy to lose it. And not difficult to find back when you know you have lost. And second, go back. Now you're back in that silence. Don't wait for me to say something. Be fully aware of your silence. There is so much activity, energy, liveliness in that silence. The more you're aware of, the more you feel it. As I'm speaking, I'm encouraging all of you to experience it, what I'm speaking. Don't just listen to my words, but listen to your silence. You can hear the silence. You stop hearing the silence the moment you listen to the noises. And we are addicted to listening the noises and conflict. We're addicted to making comments on conflicts and lose the connection to the silence. So just feel. When you're in that place of silence, why it's important? Because you feel peace. Why it's important to feel peace? Because you feel safe. Why it's important to feel safe? Because you don't have to fight with life. You don't have to fight with anybody. You don't have to activate your sympathetic nervous system. You don't have to use your biological reserve energies which you have very little left. It's like a last few seconds of the battery in your phone. You wanted to make most important call. but you don't want to just listen to some stupid things on it. You want to use it well. Why is that important? Because for your health, for your body, it's important. This moment of silence is not using any energy. Imagine like a phone. We all know, we all carry a phone. And when you have, especially when you have old and bad phone, they drain the battery fast. And when you have very little battery left, and you have very many important make phones to call, what you will do? You will not use them. You will save them. You want it to last longer. Same thing. As we get older, you don't want to use your biological reserves, saved, precious energy for nothing. You want to save them. And silence, place of peace inside, is the way how we save this energy. For many people, they're always using the, like they're like a defending, like enemies, as they're surrounded by enemies. They're ready to be shot and killed. They're nervous like that. They are fearful like that. They are trying to defend like that. They are talking like that, thinking like that, feeling like that. They're using their energy all the time too much for nothing. That's why the practice of silence, being in silence, becomes very, very important to feel safe. And as we said, like breathing like a 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out, resting in between, breathing that cycle, even when you don't know everything what I'm just talking about, just simply breathing like that, it already helps you to be in that state of mind and in that state of silence. So it's important to know, silence is not only absence of noises. That means in the presence of noises, you can still experience full silence. Sometimes it's important to have that, you are with the people who cannot stop talking, arguing, judging. Even in the social medias, there are people who, I don't know how they have a time. If they're critical of other people, judgmental to other people, very negative to other people, and people even you don't know. Getting into all these stories of other people. I'm always amazed by people. Some people uses their energy in that way. If they have energy, there is a better way to use that energy to find more peace, activate more kindness. We have a choice. We always say, whenever the police stops, they say, you have a right to remain silent. Or anything you will say can be or will be used against you. Why they said that? That they said that because you might say something very stupid or something very wrong, something can be very against you. And many times in the life, people all the time, that's what people do. They say so many things, and in the end, everything what they say or many things what they say becomes a weapon toward themselves by others because they don't know what they're saying. So silence is protector, the best protector. When you don't have a word, when you don't know what to say, Silence is good protector. And knowing that it's okay to remain silent, it's okay to not say anything. It's not even enjoy the being silent, the sacred silence. Silence is also a great communicator. There are many times people hear you, understand you better. People respect you. People know you. People might understand you better through your silence than through your voice. Of course, I'm not saying don't speak. Of course, I don't know. There's no way. I'm not saying don't speak, don't express, don't, no. I'm saying when you don't know what to say, don't speak. When you're saying harmful things, better not to speak. When you know you don't know, and but whenever you have been saying something, sometimes you've been hurting other people. Be aware of that. You have a choice. So in silence, you find yourself and your true voice. Last two lines. Why? How do you say in silence you find yourself? Because there are many ways to find yourself. With your own pain speeches. Your own pain speech. When you listen, when you are saying something negative, when you are judging someone, when you are showing off, when you feel the restlessness in your throat, in your voice, in your words, that very moment you reflect back in yourself, oh, I'm aware of that. Who is that? Who is angry? I can hear my voice. I can hear choices of words. Maybe I'm not very rich in my vocabulary, but still I can choose something better than this. Why I choose these words? Why I end up complaining a lot before I help someone, before I do anything? Why I have to speak so much before I do anything? Why I have to be so negative before I try to be positive? I hear myself. I hear myself. Who is that myself who have this negative energy, chooses this word in this way of expressing? Who is that? Oh, someone who has been hurt. Someone who has not been respected. Someone who has not been loved enough. Oh, I see it. I see in me someone who is seeking for recognition. And these voices are coming from there, from that pain identity, personality, expressing its voice in this way. And this voice is loud enough for me to hear it, to trace back to that sense of who I am or who I am not. Oh, I see. who I am not. Or I see one of my strong pain identity is playing important role in my voice and in my speech. I see it. You see, now if you go like that, then you recognize yourself through silence, through silence or in silence, you hear this voice more clearly. In silence, you're able to see that pain identity more clearly. Now you saw one aspect of yourself. You see? Now, when you saw one aspect of yourself, then you say, oh, I'm not going to talk this way. I'm not going to use these words. This is coming from my pain. I don't want my pain to be my voice. I don't want my anger to be my voice. I want my voice coming out of joy and love from that place of feeling safe and confidence. You see, now you discover your voice. You discover your voice. That's your true voice. A voice coming from that confidence, a place of feeling safe. An expression is a joy and love. That's your voice. Your voice is not complaining about pain, feeling down. That's not your true voice. That's a voice of your pain. Ability to make distinction between the voice of your pain and your true voice. That's how you find your true voice. So that line I shared, on my day, reflection of the day, that I'm just making a comment on that reflection. Silence is not only absence of noise, but it's presence of awareness. In silence, you find yourself and your true voice. So that's a little bit more comment today. I wanted to make a little bit of comment on that. So manifesting your potentiality through your voice, that's what it means. You're finding your voice. And exercise your true voice, your gentle voice, your kind voice, your positive voice, your encouragement to others. And voice has a lot of power to do that. You can talk about good things in a bad way. Your subject is good, but your voice is negative. So what you're transmitting, I'm not sure what you're transmitting. Maybe you can ask or you can find out. So this whole dimension of speech and silence is amazing, beautiful. Every day it's with us. Every moment we have this opportunity. I mean, right now, this moment, I'm talking, so I have definitely an opportunity to be very aware of what I'm saying. But you're listening to me. You have also equal opportunity to hear your voice. How open you are, how critical you are, how judgmental you are, how negative you are, how positive you are, how you are aware of yourself in this very moment, in the moment of silence that you are in. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. And I've been daily in reflection of every daily reflection, talking a little bit more about silence. I hope all of you don't get tired of me talking about silence, writing about silence. But each of these reflection of the day, I do spend a lot of time, hours a day, to thinking about, contemplating on them myself. But when I share it out, I don't know how much what you understand, you don't understand. It's just a word, there's more meaning in it, or it's very helpful. But I do enjoy doing this. And I wanted to thank all the number of people translating in many different languages. I really, really appreciate that. It's kind of fun, I know, like, some time I'm ready to post it, and I can see some of them just waiting. They'll be translated in 5 minutes later. It's already translated. It's always a fun to see that, and I hope that also all of you who are reading it, contemplating together with me, with us all together. There's something every day we need to engage our mind on something. It doesn't take any extra time. You could be, very often I'm doing my reflection of the day in my cafes, or I go to gym every day, spending at least like an hour and a half, 2 hours every day. So I'm exercising. I'm trying to stay my open and reflecting on things. It doesn't take any extra time from your everyday life, but it's always fun to engaging your thought and mind and heart in the right place where it's fun and is helpful. So thank you for being part of that reflection of the day. And I don't know how long I will do, but I intend to do every day. Whenever it stops, it stops. Whenever I need to take a break, I will take a break, but otherwise it will go on. So enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the Cyber Sangha podcast. If you'd like to learn more about Cyber Sangha, visit us online at cybersangha.net.